In today's video, I did a tour of Krakow, Poland. I started a walking tour at the Barbican Gateway, which is where people used to enter the city in medieval times to like pre-industrial times. And that's where I started my tour for the day. But before that, I tried a bit of the food, such as like the donuts and such, and they were really tasty. A few other things. And then from there, I got to go see the Basilica of St. Francis, where Pope John Paul II used to pray. And that was before he became the Pope, so that was kind of like his church, and you could sit in the pew where he used to pray. And after that, we went to the Wawel Fortress complex, and we got to see where the royalty of Poland was buried and their famous leaders as well. And I ended the day at St. Mary's Basilica, and I got to see like the church with two different towers, which is pretty interesting. And overall, I had a really good day learning about Krakow. I really thought it was a great place to explore and learn about Polish culture and history. If you get a chance, I definitely recommend going there. If you've been watching my videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, so luckily I'm staying here near the main square here in Krakow, Poland. And this is where I'm starting my day out. Actually, my place I'm staying is just like right back there. It'd be trying to point. It's that like yellow building back there. I think the lighter yellow. Yeah, the lighter yellow one. But yeah, this place is really pretty, really cool. And just check it out. It's just like amazing. All right, so I am making my way to the walking tour. I'm going to start a new video of Krakow itself. So this is going to be on the city. This is the view from my hostel. Actually, I just walked about, a minute away from my hostel, and this is what I get to see. So it's pretty cool. It's the Cathedral St. Mary, I believe. I'll double check on the name. All right, so I'm right here for the cathedral, which is kind of interesting because the towers are mismatched. And yeah, just everything seems a little bit mismatched on this one. I guess after seeing so many of them, you kind of start noticing. Yeah, so this is what old Krakow looks like. The old part of the city. This is where I came in yesterday. So these little kiosks here sell these type of pretzels here that are like local to the area. They're like 3 zloty, which is like less than $1. But it seems like this place, like everywhere I go, they have like chronic change shortage. Every time I try to pay, like they're like, sorry, I don't have any change. So I just been paying with my card a lot, which I kind of wanted to avoid, but I'm gonna end up with a lot of extra Polish cash if it keeps going like this. All right, so this is the place I want to go right here. I want to try one of the local, maybe a couple of the local donuts, maybe. Raspberry. I think I'll try that one. Okay, so I was able to score this donut. It is, I think it has strawberry filling in it. Let's give it a taste. It's kind of pricey though. It's about $3. Oh my God. Oh, it's really good. Kind of tastes like an old school donut back home. It's like deep fried. Yeah, it's pretty tasty. Yeah, that donut or whatever, I can't even say the word for it. The Polish donut was very tasty. It was definitely like old school deep fried, and the filling was really nice. It was like raspberry and pistachio, but the pistachio is like a butter. I don't know. It's like an interesting texture to it. So really cool. Oh, wow, look at this tower behind me. Crazy. So many beautiful buildings in this city. It's amazing. Yeah, this is just like an average side street here, but just like so pretty. It's like amazing. Never thought, Krakow, Poland. Yeah, I wish I would have booked more days here. This place is beautiful. Oh my God. This park is, it's like a ring park. It goes all the way around the city. It's so cool. Wish I had stuff like this back home. All right, scored some local coffee from a coffee shop instead of succumbing to like the Starbucks, McDonald's mafia. So yes, if you do a little bit extra legwork, you get some fresh coffee from local people. Getting close to the meetup point. It's on the other side of the gate here. So this is the old city wall, city gate. About to learn more about it here in a minute. And there's the McDonald's. So Krakow got its World Heritage Marker in 1970 for three reasons. One of them is this city wall here, which also became like a park where they knocked it down. So all around the city, there's like a massive park everywhere. And for its Jewish quarters as well. And also for like the hill where it has some like heritage sites up there too. So you can see like what it used to look like. Well, that's what it is now, I guess. But I guess this used to have like walls here, and the vehicles used to have to pass through there. Security wall here. The old city walls here.
Were entering through the Barbican, going through Florianska Street, Grodzka, Kanonicza, and to Wawel. And all the city had city walls around, yes? I have a little guessing game.
So this castle, this fortress is one of the reasons why it's UNESCO Heritage Site. And if you watch my other video, you'll see the Vistula River, and you'll also see this castle fortress complex. But there's two parts of the town. It's the old part, which is like the streets are carved by animals, like Polish cows, as our guide was saying. And this is like the German design grid part of the town. All right, if you haven't learned what the Polish flag looks like, that's it right there. You got red, white, and there's the European Union flag there. The blue and the yellow stars. And here is the city wall. So this museum here in Krakow, the art museum here, hosts this Da Vinci painting, very famous painting, The Woman with Her Ferret. Yep, she's everywhere here.
To the state, yes, to the state of Poland. And we stop here just for 1 minute so that we can see this peacock, yes, this peacock. And in the past, in the medieval times especially, later on also, in Krakow we didn't use house numbers like 1 to 12, yes, like for the St. John Street 12. No, we were using the symbols. So someone was saying, "Oh, I live. Come and visit me. Drink tea with me." We drink a lot of teas, yes, in Poland, tea and vodka, or tea with vodka. Also, this tea we call a tea with electricity. Yes.
So in the past, the houses didn't have addresses. They would just put markers like the peacock on top of them to tell people where they live. So if you're like, hey, come over to my place, I live in the building with the peacock on it, or whatever they have, like a squirrel, a dog, a cat, different symbols, different things. All right, so we're entering the main square. We're getting off like the German designed part of town with its grid, and we're entering the main commercial building. So this is basically an old school mall. They have like all the stores inside there. And yeah, it's like a commercial building essentially. It's cool. They have all the horses and stuff. So if you wanna hire a horse and carriage to go around the city, you can do it. I like the designs of the horses there. They're like really pretty. The carriages too, just like really cool looking. All right, so I'm back in front of the cathedral there.
Or with the Uber, or there be also some taxis. Thank you. 16th century, yeah. So you can see more and more buildings here in the 16th century, and they were selling not only fabric.
So this tower here was once the old town hall and a granary where they stored all the cities like wheat and stuff like that. So I guess this fell out of use because they moved it outside of town and they were gonna knock this down, but they accidentally knocked everything down except the tower essentially. So now all we're left with today in modern times is this tower here. So you see it right there. It's really cool looking. And it was like kind of bothering me too. I'm like, why is this one tower just hanging out here? And I just feel like Krakow is a city of weird buildings. Yeah, the church too was actually one of the towers is like a church bell tower, and the other one is actually used by the city to like look for fires. So if the mismatched towers is bothering you like it's bothering me, that's basically the mystery. There's also like another legend she told me, but it wasn't that good of a story, honestly, so I'm not gonna bother sharing it. Yeah, here's another quick view of the tower from this angle. All right, so we're supposed to have like the trumpet man's gonna come out here and play, so everyone's out here trying to get their footage of him. I don't know exactly. Oh, I think he comes out the golden door there. Wow, this building's pretty impressive though. All right, so we're coming to visit the church where John Paul II came to. It's his favorite church. This is where Pope John Paul used to sit. Before he became Pope. This was his spot. This was his church. This is a miracle. This is like so this was the Basilica St. Francis of Assisi. This was Pope John Paul II's favorite church to attend Mass before he became the Pope. These are the church grounds here. But yeah, it's that church is really amazing. It's like a work of art, honestly. Just the wall, just everything about it. It was just stunning. I've seen a lot of churches on this trip, and that's definitely top 5 right there. All right, back in the park, headed to the castle now. It's gonna be our last stop, I think, on this trip. Yeah, that church still. It's like, whoa, this is really cool. But yeah, this park too is just gorgeous. It's nice. It just like rings the whole city. All right, so now we're getting close to the Wawel Castle complex here. So here on the left is the castle, and over there to the right is the cathedral. So we're gonna like walk up here now. All right, there's the castle. We're getting closer. All right, now we're entering the fortress complex. That's the cathedral in there. All right, we're entering Another set of gates. There's the cathedral and the fortress.
I can tell you there are of three monsters, not only one, three monsters. Whale, this is the big whale, mammoth, and rhino, yeah? So rhino, mammoth, and
They're hanging some mammoth and whale bones up there they found here in the river.
and behind the light is the altar.
So this cathedral is important to country of Poland because it's where all their like leaders were buried. So all their royalty is buried there, and also some of their great leaders, like Pilsudski. He was like the president after World War One, and kind of led the country through that time period between World War One and World War Two. Wow. I gotta love Poland, man. They just like put churches together, slap them together, a bunch of different bits and pieces.
His or her chapel. There are also some family chapels. And a question for you: what do you think? Which chapel is of the Jagiellonian family, the powerful family? Of course, the golden one. Yes, this is the Jagiellonian chapel, and that was also the first.
All right, we're headed for our last stop. Check that out. Oh, wow. Now we're inside the castle, so I think this is the actual like royal palace here. Or the fortress bit, I guess. All right, so this castle, or this was like the fortress for the king, and because of one of the king was involved in alchemy, so he had a big chemistry set where he was trying to make lead into gold, right? So it's like the thing everyone was trying to do back in the day, get unlimited gold. And he accidentally blew up the castle, and this was like in the 1590s. And his name was Sigmund Vasa. And since he ruined where he was living, he decided to move the capital from here in Krakow to Warsaw. So because of that, Krakow's not the capital, but now Warsaw is. So because a dumb king blew up his own palace. All right, so I just wanted to get a quick view of the city, the fortress, of why this is such an important place. All right, so I'm leaving the complex up here, and I'm headed back to the main part of town to finish off the video. I'm gonna check out the main cathedral, and that'll be it. All right, so I'm gonna cap off the day by going inside the cathedral, but first I'm gonna do like a loop around. Okay, so all right, making my way around the cathedral. It's pretty big. Yeah, this cathedral is massive. All right, so I'm entering in from the side here. I was a little confused. I thought it was closed, so we're good to go. I'm gonna enter now.
Ci sediamo di là, perché tanto adesso non c'è più. Lì insomma sono tutti giovani.
All right, so I just left the main cathedral here, Basilica St. Mary, and yeah, it's pretty incredible, honestly. It's just the type of painting they put in the churches here is just striking. I don't know what it is. It's just the colors are just so rich and they look real. I feel like I'm almost like in a choral structure or something inside the church, you know, and just super realistic. A lot of the stuff there, the artistic value of these places is just immeasurable. I don't know. I think if it weren't for like the church sponsoring a lot of these like early artists, like it wouldn't have kickstarted like what we think of art nowadays, you know. They kind of paid for a lot of stuff that became like modern art, modern architecture, and a lot of like the modern world was paved because the church was doing patronage for these artists to engage in these works. So, which we still enjoy to this day, which is kind of a side benefit of it. You know, I don't think they were. I don't know if they were thinking like that, but long term, I guess it'll help the church stay around. You know. All right, so I'm wrapping up the day where I started it here from the church, and yeah, this is it. It was a nice tour. I learned a lot, and if you made it this far, please like, share, subscribe. You're a super fan, honestly, if you're watching it to this point. So I'd really appreciate you sharing the channel, and yeah, keep tuning in. I still got a couple more weeks here in Europe, and I think I'll be able to see a lot more cool stuff along the way. So, all right, take care.